Hey everybody, welcome back to another brand new video. And hold on a second. Yeah, I'm just having a lozenge. I'm just having one of these exactly. That's like a lemon mint. Just having a lemon mint. Anyway, let me get back to the discussion. Okay, so today's video, I probably want to talk about something that is, well, a bit pretty sad to kind of mention out there. For those who are in the Sonic community, by the way, for those who are like in the Sonic community by any chance of the Sonic fans, well, for those who have heard about a recent person passed away, the co-founder of Sega had passed away at the age of 95, which apparently that the person was from like somewhere likely in a different era. I think that was from like around the 1980s and 90s. I think that's what that was going on about. Before it was made by the machines of Sega's arcade machines, and I'm like, yeah, that is pretty bit interesting. I'll admit that there were some good and a bit of some alright so far, which I mean we can all just pretty much likely to agree to disagree on some. Most of the things are pretty bit alright, I guess, but in the most time I probably would want to talk about, by the way, of how a bit heartbreaking for anybody out there, for those who have heard of David Rosen. He passed away at the age of 95, and I think he was somewhere in Los Angeles, I think, which I don't kind of pay attention on some other places. But like I said, this is just an occasion to kind of let everybody know in the Sonic community how heartbreaking it feels. Like, even heck, Sonic, basically on my second channel, I wonder how he's going to take it pretty well. I'm not sure how well he's going to take it, but I think he might be a bit sad of what happened about that, which I wonder what he will have to say about it. But in this very moment, I guess, well, sorry. As I was meaning to say, I was just trying to swallow something, just try to like not make it a little bit choking around my neck. But anyway, let me just go ahead and repeat back to what I said. By the way, I wonder how Sonic is going to take this a little well and see what he's going to say. But I think it's a little sad to see a person that was the co-founder of Sega had passed away, which does suck, by the way. I'll give you guys a little bit of that. It does kind of suck, which I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit sad to kind of see a co-founder of Sega for so long that actually had passed away. Actually really makes me very sad to see a person that actually just like, just passed away kind of like that. It just really does, break my heart to see that. I really am like very shocked and surprised to see that happen. And I do want to say, frankly, is that I just want to say, hopefully, that David Rosen has a good life over there and has an amazing time out there. And I hope to say, in most fair occasions, and always the fairest of the fair, exactly, and say is this, that I do hope, by the way, by all of the means, that I hope that he is having a good life with God, and I just hope that, well, he actually did have his time, and he did reshape Sega, by the way, which he did shape Sega, by the way, in its very own good ways as possible, which I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty bit good. Well, like, being a bit of a businessman, at some points I'll have to agree, and then yet some points I could agree, and then may disagree again, but I may come right back to disagree to agree at some point at basic other points. But as in for me, I just wanted to say is that it does suck to see a person that lived a lot long, way long, like somewhere in the 90s. I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense, and that explains a lot of questions. It explains like certainly like lots of questions of how that happened. So I just want to say, for those who do feel bad for David Rosen, and I probably feel the same way as I do, which does suck, by the way, and I hope to say that, well, he may live a good place in the sky heavens, in a very absolute amazing place in heaven, with Jesus Christ and all. But yeah, so, anyway, I just hope to see what you guys will think, what Sonic's going to feel, by the way. I'm talking about, like, my second channel's Sonic, by the way. to wonder how he's going to feel about this, which I mean, we're going to see what happens in the parody video, and I know he's going to have a breakdown and a bit of a sad motion about it for how that happened, but there's going to be like lots of questions how he'll probably explain what's going to happen, but I will assume to see what happens. But just remember this, like, well, maybe just give him like, I don't know, maybe like 15 days, I guess. Like, give him like 15 days to just like, just calm himself a little down and you know, just to calm himself a little down and just like, give him time and time just to like, I don't know, kind of like move along, I guess, just move along like anyways, just to like move along, I guess, which is just a bit of a shortened word to say it's just like move along, I guess. Like, just like that kind of way. But yeah, I just hope to see what happens, and I hope Sonic's going to feel a bit better in by 15 days. If it still does like confirm what date that will be, then probably that. Which, I mean, he probably will get back to do reaction videos at some point. I mean, it's just going to give him a little more time just to kind of feel a bit, I don't know, feel a little bit sad, feel a bit depressed. I mean, yeah, there might be another character from Mario's world, apparently, that might actually cheer him up, by the way, which I think guarantee we're going to see what happens, by the way, in the parody video. I think it's going to probably be somebody that might actually just cheer him up and just, I don't know, just like cheer up Sonic, by the way, and see how he'll be okay exactly. So that's all I want to talk about as of now. So that being said, I just wanted to say is I hope that you guys do feel the same way as I do, because I mean, for me, it actually really actually made me feel a bit sad to see a person that passed away like for so long in a lifetime, like a lifespan that had passed away. And also, yeah, there has been a lot of different interesting facts that, by the way, and the key facts that I did see and briefly to see, by the way, that I've heard about, like David Rosen actually once did went to the Korean War, I think, and stayed a bit in Japan. For those who would say is like, oh, why did he went to the Korean War? Well, makes a lot of sense. I mean, you guys can probably do a bit of your research and figure that answer out a little bit. Just to kind of describe how that went, by the way, of how that describes how he went to the Korean War or something like that. And yeah, he did stay in Japan for a little bit of a while before he decided to like go to Los Angeles, and then he kind of like was in his own home, and then he somehow died somewhere in his 90s, I think, at that point. So the basic story is, for those who are like a Sega fan and a Nintendo fan, then I hope that you guys would be totally respectful and just try to say is like rest in peace for David Rosen, even though that he actually still didn't deserve to probably pass away in his time and a bit of his pre time, or should I say in his prime time. But I guess the answer probably may have its own peak of answers and a bit of somewhat like that, which I am trying to be respectful and all, and be very, very, very respectful for many other reasons to be that respectful, highly respectful. But anyway, that being said, all I wanted to say here, folks, is that I did feel bad for the person passing away, even though that he was in his 90s. Then that's all I want to talk about, and just say how sad it feels just to pass away at that point. And I mean, Sega did pretty good job, by the way, to be reshaped a little bit. I'm actually a bit surprised a little bit of it, which, like I said, I'm on both sides apparently of Sega or Nintendo, which I apparently would say that only in my second channel of Devin-Foxy's Sonic channel is only focused about Sega, only just about Sega as always, and focus on many videos as possible, just like my Sonic characters and non-Sonic characters from different worlds and different realms. That's all I'm going to say and describe. So that's all I want to talk about, and that's all I wanted to say. And rest in peace for David Rosen, and I hope that he has had a great life and had amazing, absolute great life and awesome, amazing opportunities, which I think he probably did so damn well that I actually am wanting to say this in honor, is that is like so interesting, bruh. That is like the most interesting things I had ever seen and bear to witness for that long. So rest in peace for David Rosen. Rest in peace for him. And I'll say this in most likely in the matter is I hope that that God watches over him, and I hopefully would say is that, like, well, meant to say is like, I hopefully that will say, I hope that God takes care of him. It takes care of him in heaven. Just likely to say is like, well, hopefully David Rosen watches everyone and pretty much in heaven exactly, like watches anybody at this point or whatever. But all I gotta say is rest in peace, and I hope that he had a great, amazing, good things in his life, which I think he probably did. I mean, there have been some opinions where it's been some ups and downs of him being a businessman, so it makes a lot more understanding sense for where that comes from exactly to make a lot sense. But that's all I want to talk about. And I know Sonic's gonna have a breakdown, and I know apparently he might be wanting to have 15 days to just calm himself down and feel a bit depressed a little bit and just kind of have a little bit less depressed away after 15 days. I think, if the count has already been counted, which I think it's not been counted already. So that's probably what's going to happen. And I know it's going to be a little bit heartbreaking for Sonic to see what happened and know what was going on. But I mean, at this very point, I'm going to try and see what I can do coming from another parody video to make, which I probably could try at least and get that along with. So that's all I want to mention about, and that's all I probably would want to say. But anyway, as that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off right now, and definitely sign off as always. So, anyway, rest in peace for David Rosen, and plus, you'll be missed as one of the greatest legends of Sega's co-founders I had ever probably had witnessed and ever would have thought and searched on Google I've ever seen. So, rest in peace for the co-founder of Sega. Rest in peace for David Rosen, and yeah, I would pretty much would have to say is that we all wish him very well and wish him a very well time on earth and appreciation as always and every time. So rest in peace for you, David Rosen. Rest in peace, and hope that you had a great life ahead of you and a lot of great, amazing opportunities, which you did so well and awesome, by the way. So that's all I want to talk about. Anyway, that being said, rest in peace, and I will see you guys for the next video. And whatever these four things I'll have to do anyway, and just say is this, by the way, is referring to anybody, by the way, is give this video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. That way, you guys do not miss a single video that comes straight right along in this channel. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off right now and just wrap it up and sign off as of now. So thank you guys for watching, and as truly said as always, thank you guys so much for enjoying this video. And that being said, I'll see you guys for the next video. Take care, sign off, and this is Golden Devin-Foxy remastered, and I'm the voice behind Knuckles, Uganda Knuckles, Big Knuckles, and pretty much other Sonic characters and non-Sonic characters, much more and many more. So that's all I want to say, that I'm Golden Devin-Foxy remastered, and I hope that you guys have a truly amazing day, and I will see you guys soon enough for the next video. And yes, I'm about to wrap this up, so thank you guys so much for watching, and take care, everyone. Have a great, amazing day, and truly amazing day. I will see you guys for the next video, and I hope that everybody will probably would do the same, and hopefully would do so, but that's fine. It's just either which way, that's fine with me. So just want to say that I want to thank him for everything and very much for how he's actually ever did to reshape Sega and much many more and lots of more. So that being said, thank you and sign off. Bye bye, take care, and sign out.